and I'm really excited for their content.
This meeting is being recorded.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Deborah. As I was saying, we are very grateful for you being here today. This is the Legislative and Economic Growth, or LEG, Committee of the Greater East Dallas Chamber. We have two great speakers. We've got Ryan Doss from the City of Dallas to discuss the PACE program. And we've got Erma, is it Saracho? Is that right?
Yes, it is. Thank you. You got it.
Perfect. Saracho with the City of Dallas Small Business Center. So we're excited to have both of you here. We're going to go ahead and start with Ryan, and then we'll jump to you, Erma, after that, and then we'll have some little bit of time afterwards for questions. So be thinking of those questions. So Ryan, I'm going to go ahead and kick it off with you.
Okay, great. Let me share my screen real quick.
Sure.
Get this started. Can everyone see that?
Yes, we've got.
So my name is Ryan Doss. I'm an analyst here at the City of Dallas for the Office of Economic Development. Here today to talk about the PACE program. I'm joined on the call by Texas PACE Authority, Autumn. So I'll just give a brief overview of our program, and then I'm going to pass it over to her, and she's going to kind of describe how PACE works and kind of how businesses in Greater East Dallas can really take advantage of the program. So to start off, what is PACE? It's Property Assessed Clean Energy Financing Program. Basically, long-term, low-cost, 100% financing for energy efficiency, water conservation, and distributed generation projects. These are for properties that are commercial, industrial, and multifamily. And how this works is businesses or properties will get a PACE loan to pay for these energy efficiency improvements, and then they will then repay the loan via special property assessment that is using the savings from those upgrades to pay off the loan over a long period of time. So looking back at City of Dallas program, we've really been involved since the beginning of PACE in Texas. We were advocating for legislation at the state back in 2011, 2012. The PACE Act was finally signed into law in 2013, and then Dallas has been involved with kind of getting PACE going in the state, working with keeping PACE in Texas, doing some PACE in a Box working groups of really just trying to create a uniform standard across the state. We then selected in 2016 Texas PACE Authority to be our third party program administrator. So they are extremely helpful. They do a lot of our legwork and really walking our property owners and businesses through the process on how this program works and really getting things going for them. We started making our first projects back in 2017. So that the very first one was the Butler Brothers building, which is right next to City Hall. And at the time, that was the largest PACE program in Texas. And then ever since then, we've kept going. And just recently, the city has made PACE as a key component of our comprehensive environmental and climate action plan. So to date, we have completed 9 projects and have had over $73 million invested through this program, and a lot of significant just energy efficiency, energy savings, water savings, and things like that. So here's a breakdown of our different projects. And I really want to stress to the Greater East Dallas Chamber of Commerce that PACE is so versatile. We've worked with projects that are $24 million, but we've also worked with those that are just 74,000. So it doesn't have to be a big, huge redevelopment. It can be just very small, some minor upgrades to your building. But we also work with a lot of different property types as well. So we've done mixed use, garages, hospitality, and office properties as well. So I'm gonna highlight 2 of our projects real quick before I pass it off to Texas PACE Authority. So the first one is the Continental Gym building. I'm sure you're aware of this beautiful property now. It is historically was one of the biggest, well, it was the largest continental gin or cotton manufacturing plant, like many years ago, and then needed some redevelopment. And so PACE really helped with getting upgrades to the roofing, glass and glazing, some exterior walls and mechanical and HVAC improvements. We have solar panels, as you can see in that top right photo. And the PACE assessment for this was just a little over $5 million. Now, what's important about this project is PACE played a part in the entire financing of this redevelopment. So we also had state and federal tax credits, as well as some TIP funding for this project as well. So PACE can be packaged in with other programs and incentives to really get properties redevelopment going. And then lastly, I'll just touch on an office building in the Lake Highlands area. This is a great example of, it doesn't have to be a huge redevelopment. This was just an office building looking to upgrade its HVAC and kind of make the property a little more, just more appealing to new tenants. And so this was just under $500,000 and really kind of shows the versatility of our program. But with that, I'm going to pass.
Ryan, I'm sorry, Ryan. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's my my connection, but I'm still just seeing your main overview page. I hadn't seen any.
Oh, really? I'm sorry about that. Can anyone else see the changes in the slides?
No, just your main page is all.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I went multiple pages in.
It's all right. I assumed it was my my poor connection, so I didn't say anything right off the bat. But
I apologize.
That's all right. Maybe paused or something.
Actually, I can see his PowerPoint slides on the side. It seems to not be in presentation view.
Okay, let me see. Let me stop sharing quick. I am so sorry.
It's all right. It's all right.
Okay, so y'all can see this view, correct? Of like just the.
You can see the main page with the slide viewer on the side.
On the side. Okay. Well, let me just show you real quick.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it's like, well, let's break this down, make it a little simpler.
Okay. Are you able to maybe put that a little bit in full screen, a little bit more, or anything that we can? Others may be able to see it better than I can.
So Ryan, at the top, there's that slide. There you go.
So is that
for that clarification? And yes, you know, I think that's one of the reasons.
Or if you go up to the very top there.
It's the way they treated.
And Mike, we'll got your audio.
Okay. It's my birthday. What do you expect?
That's right. Happy birthday.
Everyone will sing later. Thank you. Thank
Birthday, Mike.
Happy birthday.
you. Thank you.
Can you see the second slide now?
Not yet. Oh.
Brian, if you would go to where it says from beginning on the top.
Mm-hmm. That is what I am currently pressing, and then it seems like once I switch the slides, it is not.
We can, if you'll just go through on this screen, you can just advance the slides by clicking on the slides to the left and just run through them there, and we'll work with that. Thanks.
All right. Well, I apologize for that. So I'll just quickly go through this since I kind of read all of this without y'all saying it. So here's kind of the description of what PACE is, the long-term, low-cost, 100% financing for energy efficiency, water conservation, and distributed generation projects. Commercial industry, multifamily, and industrial properties. Here's our timeline of, kind of where our program has gone from 2013 to now. We have like 9 different projects that we've been working on and completed, $73 million, and a lot of just energy, water, and natural gas savings over the years. This is the breakdown of the different projects, and you can see here in the financing column that it ranges from 26 million down to 74. Majority of our projects have been in that $2 to $5 million range, kind of that mid-market level. But we've had a lot of just different type of projects through this program, and it's really versatile, very flexible, and can really benefit a lot of different property owners in the city. Here's a breakdown of the Continental Gen that I talked about. You can see the different financing sources that was a part of this project. PACE being one of them. We also had some TIF funding in there and some state and federal tax credits to help with this redevelopment of the building. This manufacturing plant is now this wonderful mixed-use building with shared office working space. On the first floor, it has this coffee shop and recently a new restaurant on there. So if you haven't been to this property, I really recommend it. It's just so aesthetically pleasing and just beautiful. And then lastly, this is the office building off of Abrams Road. And this was they just took a small project to upgrade their HVAC and to really make their property more appealing to new tenants. So now that I ran through that again, I will pass it to Texas PACE Authority, and y'all can take it from there.
Thanks, Ryan. My name is Charlene Heydinger. I'm the president of Texas PACE Authority. I'm here today with Autumn Rattle, who is our program manager in the DFW area, and we both look forward to working with you. So Ryan, great job on the outline. What every company wants to do is increase profits, and there's 2 ways to do that. You sell more stuff, and hopefully it's you lower your operating expenses, right? So you get to keep more money, and everybody would like to do that. And most folks who are either tenants in a building or who own a building are paying higher utility costs and probably some repair costs that they'd rather not have to pay because the equipment is old. So if we can lower those utility costs, we can raise net operating income and therefore increase the building value. Why doesn't everybody go do this? Well, energy and water saving equipment's really expensive, and it has a long return on investment. It can take years before it breaks even. It will break even, but most investors and most property owners want that break even point to reach profitability to happen a lot sooner. So that's the barrier that this program is trying to overcome. And Dallas was in there very early. Not only were they supporting the legislation, they helped us design a model program, and they helped us get it right. So it does not surprise me that that Dallas has done almost twice as much with the PACE program than any other local government in Texas. So next slide, Ryan. So here's kind of a visual of what I just said. In a conventional loan, we're talking about equipment. That's a really risky loan for lenders. They want to get paid back in 5 years or less. So trying to update this equipment creates a cash flow problem for the company or for a nonprofit. So I call that yellow tower on the left the tower of pain. Right? Do you have to lay somebody off? What are you not going to get to do because you're replacing your HVAC system or you're replacing your roof? And there will be savings. There's no doubt about it. but usually the savings aren't enough to cover the payment until after the equipment's fully paid for. PACE is a new option, and all we're really doing is knocking that tower over. You still have to pay it back, but you make many more smaller payments. And because the payments are smaller, you can set aside the money you used to send to the utilities or you used to send to your repair folks and use that to make the repayments. This is 100% upfront financing. It does not come from the city of Dallas. It comes from a private lender of your choice. Dallas has just created the mechanism that allows this to happen. But this is 100% upfront financing, and Texas PACE Authority, who administers this program for Dallas, we won't approve the projects unless there's an independent engineer that confirms that the savings are going to exceed the cost. So these will be cash flow positive projects. And it sounds too good to be true. And this would have been a much harder presentation a couple years ago before we had examples, but there are great examples. Next slide, please. So in the state of Texas, we have facilitated about $227 million in new energy and water investment, all for businesses and nonprofits. There are 60 projects, and you can see the growth and the interest in this program just continues to grow, motored right through COVID. And we've done some really wonderful things for the state. We have almost 87 million gallons of water being saved every single year. And you'll see from that pie chart that virtually every type of business or nonprofit has used the program. And it's just now starting to be discovered. And Ryan said something really important, and that is that PACE complements all the other sources of capital that you have. We see people using PACE to buy and renovate a building, to be part of that capital stack. We see businesses, and there are tens of thousands of them in Texas that are, that own these buildings that were built in the 80s, these glass buildings. Well, the HVAC system is dead. They're still using old lighting. HVAC and LED lights, those are no-brainers. We ought to be seeing dozens of those every month. And someday we will, as people get to understand the program better. But these are the ways that we want to help businesses, because the money you save, you can plow right back into your business. Next slide, please. So to lay out how this works, Dallas created the program, selected Texas PACE Authority. We're a nonprofit. Our only purpose is to administer these programs to make sure that the savings that the contractor is telling you you're going to achieve, that you're going to achieve them. So we're basically quality control. There's a black line, a horizontal line across this slide. The business community in Texas did not want the government picking the lender. They did not want the government picking the engineers. They want you to have that power. So it takes a little longer for people to understand the program, because we're not telling you what to do. We'll help you with every question that you have, but you get to pick any lender you want. You get to pick any engineer, architect, or contractor that you want. You hold the reins in this. So what we have is a high quality program designed to make sure that you're going to have a project that succeeds, but it's very flexible. There's a lot of free market opportunity for you to find the highest and best use of this program for your property and to work with the people that you want to do business with. What we want to make sure you do is get every incentive, every grant, every other source of capital that's out there. So Ryan showed you how PACE is being put together with opportunity zone money, with historic tax credit money, new market tax credit money. It's all out there, but we want to make sure you also get the utility savings. If you're in an area that offers a facade grant, we've even had a project in Elgin, Texas receive $31,000 from the USDA. There's a USDA Rural Energy for America program that's out there. So we'll work with you to try and make sure that your project costs are as low as possible, because you've taken advantage of everything that's there. And PACE is a tool that complements all of it. The other thing that's been exciting about working with the city of Dallas is they've worked hard to make sure that this program is available to everybody, that it's not just something for the biggest buildings in downtown Dallas. And we've done a couple of those, but there are some really neat Southern Dallas projects. There's the Continental Gin is in Deep Ellum. We want to make sure that everybody in the city knows about this program so that when you need it, you'll be able to take advantage of it. And a great place to start is with Ryan in the Economic Development Office, but you're also welcome to reach out directly to us. But they can help you make sure that you're accessing all the other sources of funds that are available to you as well. They'll know about a lot of things that the Texas Space Authority won't necessarily know about. We're kind of focused just on the PACE piece of it, but encourage as much communication as possible with all stakeholders. So if your business, if you're an HVAC distributor or you're a lighting person, this is intended to create jobs for you too, while we're helping the building owner. If that building owner decides finally to stop repairing a dead HVAC system and replace it, that means somebody has to manufacture that equipment. Somebody has to deliver it. Somebody has to install it. Somebody has to feed those folks, and somebody's going to have to maintain it so that it will provide savings over the longer life of these assessment terms. And that creates jobs for the entire community. We also need local lenders to be involved in this, to be willing to make this a product that you can offer for your best customers. So while we're growing the program and we're focusing on projects and owners, we're really trying to create a whole new economy. Sort of, I tell people it may be the last untapped market, and that's unpacking or making it possible for property owners and entire communities to deal with deferred maintenance. This is an opportunity to attack deferred maintenance, and everybody benefits from that. Next slide, please. Okay, so where do we start? This is one of the biggest challenges in a community where not everybody knows about the program yet. So we have a directory where you can look at contractors, engineers, architects, attorneys, and PACE lenders. They all have to go through training so they understand our programming. Can I guarantee you're picking the world's best contractor? No, I can't. All I can tell you is that they've been trained and they understand the PACE program. So hopefully you will do your due diligence on the folks that you're going to work with, but we can help you get started here. If you are a contractor or an architect or someone else who wants to be on this list, let us know. If you sign up for our mailing list, you'll get information on when training is available. Next slide, please. And we'll be happy to answer every question that you have. I tell people you really need to hear about this 3 times. It's like peeling an onion. It's a new idea. It's very different from what folks have dealt with before. And so it takes a little getting used to, and we welcome every opportunity to get the word out. So if you're part of a Rotary Club, if the Chamber wants to hear about this again, those are gifts for us, and we welcome those opportunities to explain the program. And I think then this is the last slide, but there are a lot of resources out there. And we should have thrown Ryan under the bus and put his email down here too, because he's a great resource for you. And Autumn and I are looking forward to helping you too. So Ryan, I'm going to turn it back to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Charlene.
Thank you.
And I believe that's it for us. So I mean, we're happy to answer any questions. And I apologize for the technical difficulties. You'd think after all this time with virtual meetings, you have it mastered.
That's all right, Ryan. I want to just thank both you and Charlene for the great information. I had no idea about this program when Jonathan Freddy was talking to me about this. I was very curious, and this is great information. And I will make sure that we share this and share the contact information and how to get started with our membership as well. But before we jump into questions, let's go ahead and move over to Erma with the City of Dallas Small Business Center, and then we'll do so. Excuse me, to make sure that we get everybody's question or everybody's attention here, and then anybody that has questions, we can do that at the end. So, Erma, if you're ready, let's go ahead and move over to you. We have you, Erma?
You're on mute, Erma.
Oh,
Irma, there you go.
Yeah, I'm talking, sorry. I was talking to myself. Good morning, everybody.
morning.
I was worried about trying to figure out how to share my screen, so I wasn't even paying attention that I was on mute. So as I am introducing myself, I will try to finagle how to figure out how to do that, but give me a chance. Again, my name is Erma Saracho. I'm with the Small Business Center. We are focused on small businesses in the city of Dallas, and I guess I can't talk and share. Can someone help me? I mean, I see everybody there. Now I'm trying to get to my screen, and I see a green button that says share.
Yeah, click on that.
Okay, but it gives me, let's see, entire screen, window, Chrome. It's not something, oh, how about if I hit share? Huh. No, it's not allowing me to for some reason. I'm not sure what's going on here. Let me try something else.
If you'd like, you can
see your PowerPoint as an option.
Did you see that when I clicked on that?
Yeah, so when you click on share, if your PowerPoint is on your screen, click on the PowerPoint.
Okay, and it was on the screen. I must have missed it, so give me a second. Let me look for it. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay. Can you see my screen now? No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
So did you click on the PowerPoint and then click on share?
I have a box that says a share, but when I do that, nothing, it's grayed out. So I'm going out of that and hitting share. I keep on hitting share screen and it doesn't.
if it's easier, do you want to email that PowerPoint? You can email it
I sure can. I sure can.
President, sure, president@EastDallasChamber.com.
Okay.
And
that way everybody
will go,
can have that.
Yeah, that will go to Deborah. And Deborah, if you can share it for us, that may be the easier way to go here.
Okay.
So president@EastDallasChamber.com. And while we're waiting on this, we can take any questions that anyone may have regarding the PACE program. As I mentioned, we will get the information from the last slides on how to get started. But does anybody have any questions right now?
I do, Brad.
Go ahead, Mr. Nuri. Happy birthday, sir.
Well, thank you. I think I'm going to answer my own question. This is only for City of Dallas businesses. I have a client in Duncanville that would be a candidate, but that doesn't apply here. It would apply to PACE throughout the state. Is that correct?
Which county is Duncanville in?
Dallas County.
Dallas County has been working on creating a program for a long time. And I'm told it may finally happen. I don't know. I would say by the end of the year, you're going to have this program. I'm not going to get it anymore.
Tell them there's someone who needs a new dust collection system of about $250,000. It's mandated by the city. They have to upgrade it or they will shut them down. A wood products company. So that's a real world exposure.
Charlene, this is Joyce Williams from the city of Dallas. Are you working with Jesse Crawford there with the Small Business Enterprise?
Jesse,
With Dallas
are we
County?
talking about the state or the county?
The county, with Dallas County?
I know that in the RFP process, we had SBE efforts.
Yes,
Um,
that's Jesse Crawford.
okay, so that's Jesse's. I've spoken to a woman in Jesse's office, but I have not met him yet. I look forward to doing that.
Well, I could try to facilitate that meeting because Jesse and I have been talking about pulling some things together for the city of Dallas and the county of Dallas, sponsoring some informational sessions and some partnerships to address issues of small business. So this may be a great start. Mike, thank you for bringing it up. It's an opportunity for me to reach out to Jesse, because we were looking at where could we where could we initiate this to ensure that it would be beneficial to both Dallas County and the city of Dallas residents. And so this is a great opportunity to talk about the PACE programs and its impact on the citizens of Dallas County, residents of Dallas County, but also the businesses. So Charlene, if you would be okay, I'd like to reach out to Jesse on your behalf to see if we could pull something together, since you're already working with the city of Dallas.
I would be thrilled. You have no idea how thrilled I would be. We reached out with the city's office. This is a couple of years ago now, and we had an opportunity to meet with an advisory committee. It's really hard to get people's attention. People running businesses are running businesses. And so it's hard to get them to set aside time to learn about this, which is why presenting today is so important. But yes, I welcome that opportunity. We committed to serve all of Dallas, as we are committing to serve all of Dallas County. The Texas PACE Authority serves 80 local governments. This program is now available to about 73% of the Texas population. And getting the word out remains our biggest challenge. So yes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And again, Mike, thank you for bringing it up. Sure.
Okay, can I go back to the dust removal, the sawdust question?
Yes, ma'am.
So PACE can be used if the equipment in that facility is going to save energy or water. So they'll have to have a very efficient vacuum system, a more efficient vacuum system than the norm, in order for PACE to be helpful, because they're going to have to use more power in order to install that. So efficiency is going to be critical. And we can use PACE for equipment in a facility as long as it's affixed to the property. So
Yes.
you're not going to walk off with it. So as long as that vacuum system, and it would be, is affixed to the property, it is eligible for PACE.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Perfect. Thank you. And it looks like Deborah's got Erma's slides up. Deborah, are you able to make that full screen?
You know what, that's full screen, but what I need to do,
Okay.
let me just go ahead and start over again. I can download the PDF. I just opened up her link and that's what it was. So
Okay. This may be okay.
Yeah, I can
Erma,
read it. I don't know if everybody else can, but I'm familiar with it.
let's go ahead and get started. We'll
Thank you
work
so
through
much.
this.
Thank you for
Sure.
working with me through this and helping me on the slide side.
You bet.
Again, my name is Erma Saracho, Senior Coordinator for the Small Business Center. I oversee the grant and loan programs that the Small Business Center offers our small businesses. And I just wanted to give you an overview of the programs that we have currently. The SBC team serves entrepreneurs, small businesses, the small business development, minority enterprise, women-owned enterprise businesses, nonprofits, and workforce. That's our focus. That's what we touch on a daily. And if you would kind of scooch down to that second page, Deborah, so I can go over the programs. Currently, we have, I want to just go over the programs itself. We have several that support our entrepreneurs in the Southern sector. The first program that I want to talk about is the Southern Dallas Fair Park Opportunity Fund. That program is designed to support businesses in the Fair Park area. We provide loans and grants to promote economic development and human development as well, because there is a portion there that supports small business, nonprofits as well. The criteria is, economic development projects that are defined as projects and programs that result in creation of new jobs and retention of existing jobs, and or increase the service area tax base. With that said, we're looking at several projects in that area that are helping that initiative move forward. And I'm excited about that. Unfortunately, that's just for a certain area in just that Fair Park area, and nothing else other than that outside of that area. The second program that I have is the adaptive reuse. The adaptive reuse was designed to help eliminate slum and blight in certain areas. So if there's a commercial building that is under 10,000 square feet in the southern sector that needs improvements, and it will be used for a small business to occupy at least 51% of that space. We have a $30,000 grant for any improvements that have a minimum expense of improvements of $150,000. So you got to spend $150,000 to be able to receive that $30,000 grant. All of my grants are reimbursable, so there's nothing up front. There is a grant agreement that we do come in agreement with and sign. Once that is in place, that project can start, so that we can start counting what that minimum investment will be. That has been a very successful program. We've had it since 2014, I believe, and we've had several, probably about 8 or 9 adaptive reuses. Some that you may be familiar with, and I didn't have a slide prepared, or I would have showed you maybe some pictures, and I apologize for that. But the Mission Arts, what's it called? I just drew a blank, but it is an art center that is a for-profit business in Oak Cliff, and they refurbished a old church that was vacant for many, many years. It is now a viable business that does performing arts, and it is an area where artists can go and use that space to teach classes or to put on production shows. So that's been very, very successful. Next one that I can kind of share with you is the Southern Dallas Investment Fund. We've had that program since 2019, and it's funded through the 2017 bond program. So these funds are, again, they're focused for businesses in the southern sector that will be able to create jobs and build that tax base in the area. It's been very successful. We've had great opportunities to see businesses flourish in the southern sector where they had challenges. They were not able to get full financing. There was some gap. Some of them have received lender financing, SBA loans, but still there was that gap that we were able to support and help them with. Is there another page, or is that my only page?
Only page.
Okay, so that's the only 3 I'm talking about today. And that's basically what I have in regards to resources funding resources for small business. But that's not all we do. We have support the community, helps our local chambers provide workshops for small businesses to help them just understand what's out there for them, what resources are out there for them, and just help them learn how to build their business better, and any resources that we have that we're able to assist them with. I probably don't have anything else other than maybe answer questions about our programs.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you, Erma. And as you mentioned, sourcedallas.org is the website for people to be able to get more information, right?
Yes, it is, sir.
Perfect. Sourcedallas.org. And is this sheet something that we can share with our membership?
Yes, it is.
Perfect. All right, we'll make sure we get that out as well. Thank you very much for your time as well. I'm going to open it up to see if anyone has any questions for you, Erma, or for Ryan or Charlene at this point. Any questions from the audience?
I have a question for Ryan or Charlene. So as Brad mentioned, this is something that I'd also never really heard of. It seems like a great opportunity for so many businesses. I like to see that there's some right near my own business. And how have you all gone about getting the word out, and who are we focused on trying to get the word out to so that they know that this availability is there?
So because the city of Dallas was one of the first local governments to create the program, when we first reached out to chambers, we were talking about a great idea that nobody'd used yet. And there was a lot of skepticism about whether this would work. It seemed too good to be true. We did as many presentations as we could. We knew that to get in front of groups like this, we had to make the executive directors feel comfortable that, that we didn't have three eyes, because you don't want to just put anybody in front of an important organization like this. So we really struggled in the beginning to get traction anywhere. We did a lot of, we did trainings. We got maybe a little more attention early on with the contractor community. But this is a place where engineering and contracting intersects with finance. And so there's plenty of money to do this, but we're trying to grow the lending community in Texas to understand it. So the contractors understood it, but they don't really know how to explain financing to their customers as well as somebody in the banking industry might be able to do. So in the beginning, not only did we have to explain the program, we had to train contractors, we had to find lenders. I mean, it was like building something from an entire program from scratch. If a property owner said, "Where do I start?" and there's nobody there to help them, that was an issue for property owners. So some days I feel like I'm running in Jello. And then other days it's like, wow, we've accomplished a lot in a short amount of time. And both are kind of true. Then COVID hit. So then we couldn't meet with anybody in person. And I'm finding that pretty much all the education and outreach we did throughout the state of Texas before COVID, people have forgotten it, and we've got to start over again. So I was in the city of Victoria last week. I was in San Angelo for 2 days this week. We get to visit with you today. We really are doing everything we can to get back out in front of people. And now that there are examples, getting those meetings is a little bit easier. But it is very frustrating that you haven't heard about it from until today. But we start where we start, and we're excited to move forward. And one meeting is, this is just kind of scratching the surface. So we really do need to get out there, and people need to hear about it from each other, not just from us. So creating that buzz is part of getting the word out. So if the chamber has a newsletter or an electronic newsletter, we'd love to we'd love to be a part of that and submit some material. We've got several case studies of Dallas projects. We added to our website a couple months ago the list of all of the projects, and you can sort through it and pick the ones that have measures that are similar to what you need, or location, or who the lender was. So we just keep adding resources, trying to make it easier. But your question's a good one. And the other thing is we're a very small nonprofit. If we had giant investors, or if things were different, maybe we could hire more people and get more folks out there talking about it more. But like I said before, the city of Dallas has more dollar volume in projects, and actually more projects than almost every other local government, but at least twice as much the investment of other local governments, because the Dallas Economic Development Office has made this such a priority. But even with that, we need to, organizations like the Chamber need to help us get it out there. So thank you.
Thank you, Charlene. To your comment earlier, or maybe it was Ryan's comment, this is an opportunity both for businesses that need this type of funding, but also for businesses that would be vendors or professionals that would kind of help on the backside of this. So this is a great opportunity. Excuse me. If there is a one-page flyer or something like that you've got, rather than having to send out the whole PowerPoint deck, we'd be happy to share that. Like I mentioned to Erma, that we would share her PDF as well. So if there's something that you've got that can help drive the messaging, we're glad to share that on our social media and to our membership.
Well, thank you. We really appreciate it, because that's exactly what's needed. So Ryan and Autumn and I will work together and get you the, we'll PDF the PowerPoint so it's small enough to send, and send some links to the Dallas case studies, that kind of thing. Thank you.
Excellent.
Dallas,
Sure.
by the way, has a web page on our site. So every local government that has a program has their own web page on the Texas Pace Authority website. But Dallas, the city itself, has its own really good PACE page. So Ryan, I think they go to Dallas Economic Development. If you search Dallas PACE, you'll get it. But Dallas has done
Ryan
a good
actually
job on theirs.
Ryan shared a link in the comments, so we'll capture that and make sure that we get that out to our membership as well. So. Any other questions for Ryan, Charlene, or Erma from our audience today? As I mentioned, we're very grateful that y'all were here to join us and enlighten us on this. Jonathan sends his regrets that he was not able to be a part of this, but I think this has been very beneficial. So, any other questions? And I know you may get some follow-up questions after this ends, but any other questions while we're here? Perfect. With that, I want to thank all of you and thank all of everyone in attendance today. This has been the Greater East Dallas Chamber's Legislative and Economic Growth Committee meeting, and we will be sending out information on how to get in touch with these to get more information in the coming days. So. Thank you very much to all of our speakers, and everybody have a great day.